into another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry, Nick beside me, Will beside him, Melissa bottom left, occupancy in the middle, picks from Dave on the bottom right, and Ryan at the very bottom. We have a packed house today, which is awesome. So I'll keep it real short. We'll look at what has happened over the last couple days. Baseball still going great. Best bets dog of the day. Both really up units. Over under a little bit down there. Overall profitable. Football, same thing. Good in best bets. Doing good in totals. A little bit down in dog of the day. College football, kind of the same. Other sports, pretty much the same. And hockey, a little bit of a rough start after day two, but it was just the one game and 2 days. Some people don't even count the regular season started until today. A lot of people consider the start of the season today. So we are ready to go, and we'll jump into the first game, which is the Tampa Bay Lightning and the New York Rangers. I will bring up the odds here for these teams. You can currently find Tampa Bay plus 100 to plus 105. The Rangers minus 120 to minus 133. 5.5s right across the board in this one here. And for me in this one, the Rangers won all 3 regular season games against Tampa Bay last year. They won the first 2 playoff games at home and looked like they were going to be on their way. And then Tampa Bay pulled out their playoff mojo and won 4 straight games, eliminating the Rangers. I think the Rangers will be ready to go in this one. I think they'll be motivated here at home. You're getting a really good price of them. Well, the price has kind of moved more to minus 120. I wouldn't play it past minus 120, minus 125. But I like the Rangers here at home in game 1. I also have some props. Capo Caco, who is on the top line for New York, is plus 125 to get a point. The books are sleeping on hockey props right now. Obviously, it is the beginning of the season, but you're going to get some good prices, and that's what I got. So I have Rangers money line minus 115, Capo Caco over half a point plus 125, Artemi Panarin over half an assist at plus 100, Adam Fox over half an assist minus 112. That'll be minus 150, and just watch. And Alexis Lafreniere over half a point at plus 125. I like the Rangers here, and I like those props for today. Nick, Lightning, Rangers, what do you think on this one?
Yeah, I feel like I'm part of the minority by thinking that the Rangers are not going to be as good as people think they're going to be this year. Last year, their underlying numbers suggested that they got rather lucky and they relied a little bit too much on goaltending, which Igor Shesterkin is still one of the best goaltenders in hockey. But I feel like they're going to need another Vezina-style, Vezina caliber season from him to be another top-notch team. And I do think they do regress a little bit this year, and I think I'm still on the quest of trying to find somebody that else other than me that's on the Lightning today. Like, I don't think I've seen anybody say Lightning today, and I think that this is a spot where we're getting plus money on a team that's made the Stanley Cup 3 straight years against a team that overachieved last year, and I think maybe a little bit overvalued this season because of that. So I am on the Lightning in this spot. I also like the over 5.5. I think we are going to see some power plays in this game a little bit, maybe some chippiness from a past history from last year. And I think a little bit of sloppy hockey to start the season. I think overs in both games are decent looks because we saw this last year where a lot of goals were scored earlier in the season. So I'm on the Lightning and I'm on the over in this game. I think that we could see a little bit of a higher scoring game, a little bit of sloppy play, and some goals as well.
All right. Will, Lightning, Rangers, what do you think here?
Yeah, I have this projected right at pretty much where the market is. I have 5.3 goals. The teams, I think it's plus 112, minus 112 would be my line. I'm not playing anything here, but I did see that DraftKings has the 3 profit boosts today, and I parlayed Tampa Bay plus 1.5 with the under 5.5 because Tampa Bay plus 1.5 has some nice value in the builder. My only play will be on Vegas LA.
All right. We'll actually go down to Ryan next. You seem to be happy about something. What just happened, and what do you think in this game?
Oh, I have nothing at all in this game. I have something on the late game, but I was happy because the Mariners
The Mariners just scored, yeah.
Oh, okay. Melissa, Lightning Rangers. What do you think of this
Derailed.
one?
Yeah, sorry. I do not know anything about baseball, so I don't know what you guys are talking about. But I do know a lot about hockey. And I agree. I think the line here is sharp. I think it's exactly where it should be. I think the Rangers should be a slight favorite here. From a side perspective, I am not jumping in on this. I will be on the total. I like the under 5.5. And you have 2 of the best goalies in the league right now with Vasilevsky. And my favorite, Igor Shesterkin, as many of you guys know, he is my least favorite goalie in the league. But I think that, they're going to keep it tight tonight. We saw this in the playoffs. The under went 5-0 in the last 5 matchups and only went over in the first. And I think it was honestly because of the long rest from Tampa there. But I like the under tonight. I think that it will start off slower. I hope that Tampa ends up winning this game, 2-0 or 3-0 on the ends, just because I'll root for you, Nick, for that bet. But I think the line is right, so that's why I'm tackling the total instead.
All right. Occupancy, Lightning Rangers. What do you think here?
Yeah, happy hockey to everyone. Happy to be back in the season going again. We're going to have hockey for the foreseeable future here. Opening night at Madison Square Garden. I would have to lean towards the Rangers on the money line, but I'm going to sit back and do some player props instead tonight, just because who knows, who had their Wheaties this morning as well. This is the first game of the season. The 2 points here on the line aren't as big as they are going to be in March or April. So I'm not taking a side here, though. I lean the Rangers, but I do have a couple plays on props. As he's been said before, Capo Caco being on the first line. A lot of the fantasy players look at time on ice as just like a big data point to get in on some of these guys. Just because if they're out there more, there's more chances that they're going to record some of the points. So I took Caco to get over 1.5 shots at minus 110. I think he can get that, especially with playing with those guys on the first line here. Was it Zibanejad and
Kreider?
Yeah. So they're going to pass him. He's on their team. Other one, and this one I was waiting pretty much all morning for Vasilevsky save props over 26.5. In a narrative where the Rangers win tonight, they weren't a team that shot particularly more than the average this year. I was just looking at the final numbers from last season, but they still shoot enough. And this is a number where if you bet these props, the biggest fear is that the goalie either gets pulled or hurt. And do you think Vasilevsky's going to get pulled on night one? Probably not. So if he's playing a full 60 minutes, I think there's a chance he gets that 27 saves or more. I put a unit on it and looking forward to the game.
All right. I'll have a saves prop tomorrow. We probably both will in the same game, occupancy in Montreal, Toronto. But we'll be talking about that tomorrow. Dave, I don't know if you're not sure on the rule, but this is a comment that could get you banned. This is not okay.
Ban me in the chat. That's fine.
But Dave, what do you think? Lightning Rangers, any thoughts?
I don't. In my journey to learn hockey or kind of relearn hockey, because like I said, the only reason I ever knew of hockey in the 90s when the greatest decade in sports was because ESPN was the only way to watch or the newspaper were ways to get your sports information. Now I can ignore the sports that I don't cap, but I'm going to start capping them. I will say I don't have a play in this game. I will remind people that Lightning kills 7 people annually in Florida. And so something else that annoys me too is the Texas Rangers, say I haven't said it, the New York Rangers, the dude that owned the team originally was called Tex. So the New York press called them the Texas Rangers. I think that's a stupid name for a team in New York, and I think the press was getting cute there. Just fun facts, but I have no play in this game at all. So good luck on whatever side you're on.
All right. Yeah, Ryan, nothing to add, right, on this game? All right.
No, I have something on the late game.
All right, perfect. We will go on to that game. Richie says, let's go, Dave. People love your unique breakdowns, Dave. But we'll go to the next game, which is Vegas, Golden Knights, and the LA Kings here. You can find Vegas minus 105 to plus 102. The Kings are minus 118 to minus 125. Sixes, do you see 1.6.5 now available at Power Play in this one? And for me, the first thing I noticed was the last 7 meetings between these teams have had at least 6 or more goals scored in them. They've been higher affairs when these two teams face each other. And for me, I'm not sold on Vegas's goaltending. Yes, I think Logan Thompson, I actually have taken him in fantasy leagues that I was in. I do think he will have a bright future, but it might take some time for him to fully get to his potential. LA, their prospects another year older. This team is going to continue to improve. So I am on the LA Kings. I'm also on the over 6 for plus 100. I got Kopitar over half an assist at plus 125, and I got Drew Doughty over half a point at plus 100. I didn't go too much heavier in the props, even though I do like the game over. The Kings are not really a team that I go heavy with props. We'll need to see, obviously, how things go for them and who the big guns will be this year. But I do trust Kopitar and Doughty to get points and assists. Nick, Golden Knights, Kings, what do you think here?
There. I couldn't. Oh. Was my mic muted?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, I didn't even notice it was muted. No, I'm on the Knights in this game, and I may be a little bit higher on Vegas than most people heading into the season. I think that last year, you can compare the Vegas Golden Knights to someone like the New York Islanders, where just everything went wrong for them, and still the Golden Knights only finished a couple points out of the playoffs, even with Martinez only playing half a season, and they missed Stone for a good period of time. And they missed Pietrangelo for a good period of time. And it feels like all their big players they missed for a decent chunk of time. And I think that this could be a decent bounce back for Vegas this year. And I do like LA this year. I will admit that I do think LA is going to be a good team this year. I made a lot of money with them last year, but Vegas is going to be one of those teams where they're either going to make me a lot of money or they're going to lose me a lot of money this year because I'm going to be on them a lot. I think Logan Thompson's going to be better than people think that he is going to be. And I don't do props that often, but there is one thing that I saw actually Terry comment in the Ice Guys chat about something that really caught my attention. So if you guys want a prop tonight, I don't know if I'm going to get around to betting this or not. It's plus 380 for Phil Kessel to score a goal. He is a top liner now. He's on the top line for Vegas with Eichel and with Riley Smith. So he's coming from one of the worst teams in hockey. So I could see this as a spot where he comes in, he's able to score a goal or just get an assist on an Eichel goal or something like that. I think Eichel is going to be a lot better this year with his first full camp. So I'm on the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm also on the over 6. Once again, I'm going to be playing probably a decent amount of overs to start the year with sloppy hockey to start the year. So I do see this game as a potential 3-3, 4-4 type of going to overtime potentially. But I see this as a high-scoring game, and Vegas wins it.
All right. What Nick was referring to, Phil Kessel should not be on the top line for Vegas.
Absolutely not. He should absolutely not.
There are some questionable decisions made by Bruce Cassidy that just makes me like the Kings even more. Everyone's so high on him, and he's made some questionable decisions when it comes to the lineup. Having Marcia Show on the third line, Brett Howden on the second, Phil Kessel on the first. He's doing some weird things, in my opinion, but we'll see how it goes. Will, what do you think? Golden Knights, Kings?
Yeah, I've been on the under 6 since I think I played it in September 22nd. I have this modeled out for 4.7 goals. I would have been a little bit worried if Peterson was starting, but since we got Quick, I think Quick is a competent goalie, if not good. And I think Thompson is arguably better than Lehner from his statistics. Mm-hmm. So I understand this matchup has gone over, but these two teams did not play to the over last year. And because of that, I just can't go over 6. So I'm going to be on the under 6, especially at plus 100.
All right. Melissa, Golden Knights and Kings. What do you think of this one?
This is one that I kind of went back and forth on. And again, I think that the line is pretty accurate here with having the Kings as the favorite. What I ended up looking at here was the Knights and how poor they perform on the road. And that's what really led me to the Kings. We also saw the Kings last year open up against the Knights, and I believe they won 6-2. And I know a lot of people are using the whole, revenge, Knights are upset they didn't make the playoffs angle. And I don't think that the Knights are going to get it done tonight. I think they will against the Blackhawks later on this week, which we will love betting against Blackhawks this season. Sorry, Dave.
But I was commenting. I was in the comment. They asked about how drunk we're going to get 1 to 10, and I did this. So.
No, because you said go Blackhawks, but he's not a Blackhawks fan. I hope, but
I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't listen to me.
Yeah. What's also interesting though about the total is this did open at a 6. I saw it drop to 5.5 at some books, pretty juiced at -135, -140, and now that we're seeing is 6.5. It's kind of moved around a little bit. To me, it kind of makes me think that the books want us to bet the under on that. So I personally, sorry, Turns, you're going to be fading me hardcore here, but I'm going to just play the Kings money line, and it would not surprise me if this game goes under. I'm not touching this total. I am very curious on NHL totals to start the year, because again, last year we saw a huge amount of overs that kept continuously hitting, towards the end of the season, and we kept thinking it would regress and we'd see more unders, and we didn't. So totals to me is going to be interesting this year. So I'm going to lay off, but it doesn't surprise me that you're looking at the under on that one, because I kind of am thinking that might be the play. But for me, I'm just going to stick with Kings money line.
What's going on?
All right. Yeah, you got cut out there, Dave, but it's all good. I'll fix everything up there. Occupancy, Golden Knights, Kings. What do you think here?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a hell of a game out west. Really looking forward to it. Either listening to the radio or watching it. With regards to a side, I lean Kings at home, season opener, to get the job done. I lean over as well. I think even though there are glimmers of, Thompson becoming a good NHL goalie, he's still young. He's still got a lot of work to do. And I just think there's going to be a lot of hype down there tonight. I think Kings unders will be good, moving forward. I don't see it tonight. Other stats that I'm looking at here, I'm all over shot props. The Kings were 5th in the league last year in shots for, among the ranks of the Panthers, Bruins, Flames, Avs. They fire the puck a lot. We see over 30 consistently. A guy on that team that I really like is Trevor Moore. He was 5th on the team. He eclipsed 200 shots last season, right around Kopitar, Follow. Arvidsson and Kempe being the leaders there. But I took them, and, this is a play, and, everyone has their own betting styles. But my biggest bet of the night, I bought down Trevor Moore over 1.5 shots and Vasilevsky over 24.5 saves. It's -140. That's about as juicy as I go, but I got 1.5 on it. Game ends how it ends, but I'm just looking for some players to produce.
All right. Dave, no thoughts on this one?
No, I do.
All right. I just want to ask, because I don't want to skip over anybody in case anybody has.
I have a question. Quick. That's the goalie for the Kings, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I like that because that's a name I can pronounce. Also, this is the thing. Like, the thing I'm noticing about hockey and like names and team placement is they got this shit all wrong. Who's putting teams in the desert? I mean, I think it's weird. I grew up in Southern California. I've been to Kings and Ducks games. They're all in but that's a temperate zone, and we know it doesn't snow or freeze over there. But why the hell are they putting hockey rinks in the desert? By the way, too, Kings are better than Knights, obviously. Knights become Knights from Kings. So I'm liking the Kings. I think I'm just going to bet the Kings just because Melissa is. I'm going to cap the capper, and that's where I'm going with this. And the total, you guys are all over the place. I'm staying off that. Also, by the way, in doing some research to finally do some real hockey handicapping, there are some schools of thought out there that say stay away from the total. That's the hardest part of the game to cap, which I was told that was one of the easier parts. So if anyone has thoughts on that.
It just lands.
Everyone's different when it comes to totals and sides. Some people like totals. Some people like sides. It's up to the better.
The public loves overs, obviously.
Well, I was hoping some better insight. Like, I like hamburgers, I like tacos, I like nachos. I mean, I get that, but like, I'm trying to see like what you guys think. I was told to start with totals, and now I'm reading that that's like the hardest thing to do because it's so close.
Depends on the lines too. Sometimes it's nice to start with totals because you can, get a minus 110, minus 115. But we saw totals even get farther juiced towards the end of the season. Like you were playing an over 6.5 at minus 135, minus 140. Whereas if you're playing a side and, you have a money line, you might have, for example, the Washington Capitals tomorrow are like minus 160. So if you're a type of bettor that you don't want to go over that minus 140 threshold, sometimes totals are always going to be under that threshold, kind of like what Occupancy said. He doesn't like to touch anything that goes over the minus 140. I agree. So I think maybe that's why they're telling you to start with totals. And it's kind of more fun. If you're a newer hockey bettor, you obviously want to watch goals versus, sides. It's hard to find a team you like. There's so many teams that you can choose from. And the Pittsburgh Penguins are a fun one to root for. In case you needed to.
Oh, shocker that you said that.
Yeah, obviously she didn't see it, did she?
Because females watch hockey for the men, obviously.
How do you feel about March of the Penguins?
Okay,
I don't think I ever saw it.
You missed it.
Turnsey is really good at a first 10. No goals. He loves those. So watch him for that. And to your question, Dave, about why is there hockey in the desert? Gary Bettman loves the Arizona Coyotes, and I'm not going to make any accusations, but there's rumors that there could be things that the public don't know regarding that, why the Coyotes stay in Arizona, even though they lose money for the last 30 years. So that's a questionable decision. With Vegas, Vegas
Make money.
Vegas is just getting teams, and that's just how it's
and they're going to be cursed because any team that does that well the first year that they're there, I mean, they might never win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, they're trending downwards, in my opinion, for sure.
And Vegas is a fun place to watch a game. I think out of all the arenas I've been to, Vegas was so much fun. And I've been to Wild games, Terry.
I know, I'm
Yeah,
jealous.
those are great, huh?
Well,
All right, I got to hop off though, Terry, but you have my best bets and everything later?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep,
thanks,
perfect. Thanks,
guys.
Melissa. We'll see you
See
later.
you later.
Ryan, Golden Knights, Kings. What do you think here?
Yeah, I'm looking at two angles on this game. One Melissa already mentioned, and that was this is a rerun of last year, and these two teams played to a 6-4 final. So to me, that looks like a real solid trend to the over. However, Anze Kopitar had a hat trick in that game, and he had 5 total points. So I'm on Kopitar getting 2 points at plus 400. I'm going to put a sprinkle on that. The other thing that I'm looking at is something that soccer handicappers call the new manager bounce, and that is this: like the teams perform well when they have a new coach. And it's hard to get any data on this. Bruce Cassidy was kind of promoted from assistant in Boston, and that was a really good team, and that was mid-season. But also he took on the Capitals at the start of their season. He won their opener, so very small sample size. So I lean to Vegas on this, on the new manager bounce angle. I lean to the over, but the only play I have is on the prop.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm on him to get an assist, so 2 points. So it sounds great. Vegas has a good market. Yeah. Vegas doesn't lose money
You
constantly.
could put a Russian table tennis team in Vegas, and it would. I mean, give me a break. But my point, whatever. That's true. Vegas is a different place.
Yeah, they've done well for hockey. So, but unlike Arizona, and I don't. And to people that if there are Arizona fans out there watching the show, I don't like to shit on Arizona, but it should not be. Put it in Hamilton, the city I live in. Put it in Quebec City. Put it in Houston, Kansas City. Like there's so many other places you could have.
I live in Arizona. No one gives a shit about the Coyotes.
Thank you.
Except for the ones that run around and try to eat your dog.
Yeah, you watch out for those. But BetStamp, use code WILD in the referral code section. Obviously, the odds that I bring up are from BetStamp. Shop around at the different books. Line shopping is important. You get the best. You get more money when you line shop. So do your line shopping. Find me there at Let's Go Wild Picks. We'll move on to the first of the two baseball games that we have tonight. Cleveland Guardians and the New York Yankees. You can find the Guardians plus 165, plus 150 to plus 176. The Yankees are minus 200 pretty much everywhere. One book has minus 222, 210, 212, but most spots have minus 200 for the Yankees. I see 7s and 6.5s kind of split here when it comes to the total. For me, there's Garrett Cole. I get it why the Yankees are such huge favorites here. But for me, Cleveland just played 2 games. They're in playoff mode. Other people will mention Cal Quantrill's numbers, but that they speak for themselves. Garrett Cole has been allowing runs. He's actually allowed a home run in 8 straight games, at least one home run in 8 straight games. And he's allowed 3+ runs in 5 starts in a row. He's allowing runs. Quantrill on the other side, not so much. I just think there's tons of value here with the dog. So I'm on Cleveland first 5 plus a half, which I got at plus money. I'll bring it up here in a second. And I'm also on Cleveland money line. So the Cleveland first 5 plus a half was plus 105, and Cleveland money line I got for plus 180. It's now anywhere from plus 150 to plus 176. But yeah, I like the big dog here on the road to start us off. Nick, what do you think? Guardians, Yankees.
Yeah, I really do like the Guardians, not only today, but in this series. Let's see what it. Ooh, that's actually a decent price because I'm saying the Guardians in 4 for this series, and you can get the Guardians minus 1.5 games at plus 340. I think that's worth a decent stab. And I think even with Garrett Cole on the mound for the Yankees, the pitching advantage is with Cal Quantrill. The last time Cal Quantrill recorded a loss was over 3 months ago. My bad. It was July the 5th. Since then, he's had 11 wins and 5 no decisions. He's been one of those. He's just been one of the most profitable pitchers in baseball. I think the Guardians might be the better team at this point. They're playing better baseball. I'm not too high on the Yankees. I think even if they make it past this round, they get their butt kicked by whoever they play, whether it's the Mariners or the Astros. I don't see the Yankees going that far in the playoffs. And as we've seen from these first 2 games, the question between rust and rest, the answer has been rust because the Braves look terrible and the Astros look terrible right now as well. So this is a spot here where I think the rust can continue in this one. It's a little bit different for the next game we'll talk about, but I think rust will continue here, and the Guardians get the win tonight at a nice plus 184 price tag for me.
All right, mark it down. October 11th, 2022. Me and Nick agreed on something.
And it's a dog.
There you go. Will, Guardians, Yankees. What do you think?
I don't have anything for baseball today. I'm not gonna start capping in October.
All right, no worries. Dave, Guardians, Yankees. What do you think here?
Yeah, I'm on the same side. I mean, if you've to kind of pile on with Cal Quantrill versus Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole in last month had a 4.8 ERA. Cal Quantrill's was 3.06. But really, to even extrapolate on Nick's trend, if you go back to the beginning of July, Cal Quantrill started 18 games. Regardless of the decision, his teams won 16 of them. They're 16-2 when he starts. That's one of those unshakable trends that, because I'm betting it, just like the other 100% one the other day, it's going to go the other way, but it's something you can't buck. When you look at these teams at the plate, they're near equal the past 2 weeks. When you look at these bullpens, the Yankees bullpen has a ridiculous ERA the past 2 weeks, 1.18 ERA. Problem is they're pitching out of their skull. Their xFIP is way higher than their FIP. Their xFIP is almost 5. So they're just pitching way above their expectation. They're going to come back down to earth. And Cleveland's pitching right at expectation, 2.96 ERA. They're still one of the best bullpens. I watched them pitch this past series, and they've got it. I mean, the bats are a question, but the momentum is the kicker for me. Baseball is not a physical sport like basketball or football where you need rest. Actually, rest hurts pitching. Days off hurts pitching. Travel hurts pitching. So we're going to see how that works. But at plus 184, which is where I got the Guardians at, way too much value. I mean, just that's astronomical value. That's my best bet. Yeah, so that's it. That's all I have to say about that.
All right. 3 of us on the Guardians so far. Occupancy, are you going to make it 4?
No. Though the Guardians pitching has been great. Quantrill had a better ERA this season than Garrett Cole. FIP, though, Cole is slightly better, seeing a 3.5 compared to Quantrill's 4.15. So maybe Quantrill was benefiting from some lucky bounces and such. But in the last 28 days, I'm seeing Quantrill's ERA almost half, about 2.6 to Cole's 5. So in form, I think gotta give a shout out to Quantrill and how he's been playing. But with regards to the team overall, I think, man, a 15-inning game with the Guardians, that was just intense. Like I had trouble even watching the whole thing, but I did watch a lot of that game. And as a baseball fan, it's just I like those games. I mean, there's a lot of good action there. I'm kind of looking at it like this: like Vegas has been wrong twice today in baseball, right? Because the Phillies and the Mariners so far look like they're going to be getting the win. So these big favorites are going to lose. Do you think Vegas is going to go 0-3 today? I don't.
Well, probably Vegas is absolutely loving these underdogs because I saw so much money come on every favorite today. So no, that makes sense. The Vegas is actually eating from this.
So I should stand corrected and say, are the big favorites going to go 0-3? Not Vegas. Sorry about that. Yeah.
I think they go 1-3 today.
I think 2-2, probably. And if you like to gamble, you're watching this show, take whatever you want and go Yankees Rangers money line. It's a fun ticket. You could also do that with Yankees Kings tonight. That's how I'm looking at this game. I'm going to look to back the Guardians when Bieber and McKenzie come to the mound, and I think the Guardians could absolutely win the series. I'm not going to say that, but I think this game won. I'm going to have Yankees money line over on my side.
All right. Ryan, what do you think here? Guardians, Yankees.
Well, I'm already kind of over-invested in this series. I'm on a Guardians future bet, and I'm also on a Yankees future bet. And I hate to put plays on top of plays on top of plays, but there are some plays I like on this game. And one thing I did notice is that Garrett Cole has a good record in a couple of starts versus Cleveland. So it's worth taking note of. And he also has a good strikeout rate in those few games. It's 1.42 ERA and 2-0 versus Cleveland, and 15 strikeouts in 12 innings. So I like his over 6.5 strikeout prop at plus 120. Now you're playing with fire with K props in the playoffs because they managers use pitchers differently. And if there's like we saw Ranger Suarez leave early with a big lead, they just don't they don't chew up innings like they do in the regular season. So you're playing with fire with a bet like that. A couple other bets I like are an exact 3-1 Cleveland series win, which is at plus 600. And I also like Cleveland plus 1.5, which is at minus 130. You're getting 1.5 games at a roughly, fairly good price. So those are a couple bets I like.
Really? In a 5-game series?
It's minus 140 on DraftKings. That's just where I don't see the handicap, or I don't see that on my other book though. It's minus 140 on DraftKings for plus 1.5 games.
So if it goes to a game 4, you win the bet.
You win.
That's insane. I'm gonna find that and bet that right now. It's nuts.
Basically,
we go.
to win.
We'll move on to the 4th game before we get to best bets. And it's the Padres and the Dodgers. You can currently find the Padres plus 180 to plus 210. The Dodgers minus 240 to minus 250. 7.5s right across the board in this one here. And I'm really surprised that San Diego would put Clevinger. I guess it's his turn. But if you watched him against the Dodgers this year, he allowed 4 earned runs in the first game and 5 earned runs in the next 2 games that he faced the Dodgers. He got absolutely lit up. Meanwhile, Julio Urias 17-2 in his last 19 starts for the Dodgers. He faced the Padres 4 times. The Dodgers won all 4 of his starts against the Padres. He covered the run line in 3 of the 4 games. The Dodgers covered the run line in 3 of the 4 of his starts. I don't like that the Dodgers are rested here, but for the Padres, this is just not a good pitching matchup here for them. And I have to back the Dodgers on the run line, which I got for plus 100. It's now minus 105 to minus 115. I would still take it at that. Anywhere past that, probably not, but I'd still take it at minus 105, minus 110. I like the Dodgers here to get the win in game 1. Nick, Padres, Dodgers, what do you think here?
Yeah, I mentioned that it was kind of interesting that we're seeing rust for the first 2 big favorites, and then I expected that with that Cleveland New York game as well. This is the one exception for me, and I think the biggest key factor that we have to look at with this that's different than the other 3 games is, well, San Diego in their wild card series went 3 games. The other 3 teams did not. So that means they had to use Darvish, Snell, and Musgrove, which forces them to have to use Clevinger game 1 against LA, which feels like they're just punting this game because they don't have their starting pitchings available because they had to go 3 games in the wild card round. So I can definitely – so this is my one exception here is I'm on the Dodger run line as well. I think they take care of business in this one. I lean over the total as well. I think that the Dodger team total over is not a bad look either. I think this is like a 7-1 type of Dodgers win. So lean over, but my official play for this one's the Dodger run line. This is one of those where this is just a bad spot for the Padres. And I'll put this out. I want to see what the series handicap for this one is because I will give out here as a prop you're looking at plus 360 Dodgers minus 2.5 games in the series. I think they sweep the Padres.
There we go. Dave, Padres, Dodgers. What do you think on this one?
Yeah, I'm on the Dodgers. This is the thing about the Dodgers. And by the way, I got the run line at plus 100 now. I see it all the way down to like minus 116, which is to be expected. It's probably the heavily bet team. All the money's on them, blah, blah, blah. But the Dodgers haven't been – they have tons of postseason experience with this lineup. The problem is they're notorious recently in the past decade for choking. I know that. That's pretty much the only way they're going to lose this series. And I think that's the only way they don't go to the World Series. If you look at these pitchers, and I know people say, oh, the Braves pitching so great. Well, I looked at it last night. Of the the first 4 starters, because Heaney's kind of on the periphery, of them, they're all under 3. All ERAs under 3. And 2 of them have ERAs almost at 2. This pitching staff is legit. I don't know why people are talking about the Braves and not talking about the Dodgers. I think it's just some Dodger hate. It's kind of like the Yankees or the Lakers. It's a team everyone likes to hate. Like I said, the only way the Padres win this series is if it's like last series where the team that should have won just lays a big egg and they have, catch lightning in a bottle, because there's nothing the Padres do better except for those cool Mexican flag uniforms that they have. What do they call it? The City Connect one. That's the only thing they do better. That and fish tacos are the only two things that San Diego does better than LA. So the Dodgers run line plus 100, and my total, and I know it's 4.5 runs. I think the Dodgers come out and smack the shit out of the ball. I like the team total over 4.5.
All right. Sounds good. Occupancy, Padres, Dodgers. What do you think here?
Yeah, I just want to mirror everything that was already said. Clevenger's FIP's right around a 5, 4.33 ERA. Urias 2.16 ERA, 3.71 FIP. In the last 28 days, Urias is a 1.5 ERA to Clevenger's 5.6. There's just a huge pitching advantage here. I'm on the Dodgers to win the game outright. The way I played it was parlaying them with the Kings to win. And you can find that for a nice plus money. I got that at 2.6, so like a plus 160 there. San Diego, they are what they are. They caught fire a little bit in the wild card. Full transparency, in April, I made a bet about $20 for the Padres to win the NL and the Yankees to win the AL. That's going to pay out about $1,300 if it hits. I don't expect it to. I don't think the Padres are going to get past the Dodgers here, but I do have a little bit of insurance in the back pocket to play a little more on the Dodgers. Thinking about adding the run line, but I don't want to chase. If Dave said the price move 15 cents, I usually end up laying off if that's what happens. But I think the Kings, get the job done up the road, closer to lax, and we see 2 LA wins tonight.
The LA parlay, I like that. I'm probably going to tell you on that occupancy. I like that a lot. Ryan, Padres, Dodgers. What do you think here?
Sounds like there's a lot of agreement. The playoffs have been wackadoodle. It's just been, the trends in the playoffs are usually to the unders and to the favorites, and now we're getting overs and the dogs. But I'm looking at the same thing Terry's looking at. That you look at Clevenger's starts versus the Dodgers, he just got tattooed. And if you look at the Clevenger starts versus the Dodgers and Urias against the Padres, it's 110 batting average point difference. It's astounding. And the only way I can bet is the run line of this. I looked at first 5, I looked at the team total, and the run line is the bet for me. And there's also a big advantage to the Dodgers bullpen as well. And a couple of props that I like. And one I did already play is Will Smith has 4 hits and 7 at-bats against Clevenger. So 2 total bases is plus 141. I put a bet on that. Or you can bet his home run prop, which he's hit 2 against Clevenger this year, at plus 400. But I haven't gotten to the home run prop.
All right. We'll move on along to the best bet segment. Here, I will bring it up.
Did you guys hear that joke about Will Smith? He has 4 hits and 7 at bats, and one of them's Chris Rock's face.
No, I never heard that one, but that's good.
Now you did.
We'll go to the best bet segment here and start with over or under. For me, Vegas, LA, over 6, plus 100. Nick, you're going Tampa Bay Rangers over 5.5, plus 102. Occupancy, you're going Vegas, LA, over 6. Bryant is going Cleveland Guardians first 5 team total under 0.5, plus 160. Ice X is going Tampa Bay New York Rangers under 5.5. Toller is going Tampa Bay New York Rangers first period under 1.5. Melissa is going Tampa Bay Rangers under 5.5.
Terry, any shot I could just throw mine in there and take it away from a best bet?
Sure. Why, you want to use something different for your best bet?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And also you can get 6.5 at minus 122 or 6 at plus 100. It's totally up to you which one you want to use. But it's minus 122 for the 6.5.
Oh, I'm going to take 6. I'm not going to pay the
6?
juice
Okay.
for 6.5.
All right. Oh, shoot. Okay. LA. Great. And then going on to a dog of the day here.
Yes, I don't get an over-under bet. That's
Oh,
fine.
I'm sorry, Dave.
Wow.
The non-hockey guy. Wow, prejudice.
And I skipped Ryan too. I'm sorry, Ryan. Dave,
none for
what do
me.
you think here for total?
Dodgers team total over 4.5, whatever it is. I think it's minus 110. That's what I'm looking at on the book I have open.
Ryan?
No over/under for me today.
All right. Going on to dog of the day here. For me, none. Oh, actually, the Cleveland Guardians.
There you
What
go.
am I totally forgot that I was on them. I totally forgot that baseball still existed there. My bad. But let me get that. I'll actually do that after. So for me, Cleveland Guardians, I think it's plus 176. Nick, you're going Vegas Golden Knights plus 106. Ice X is going Tampa Bay Lightning plus 105. And Toller is also going with Vegas Golden Knights. So they'll get plus 106 as well. Dave, any dog today?
Same as my best bet.
All right.
Cleveland Indians.
Cleveland Guardians.
I know.
Finnegan is barking upstairs while growling, so the dogs are barking. That sounds good for the Guardians. Ryan, what do you think here for dog of the day?
No dog for me today.
All right. None occupancy for you? No?
No.
Okay. And Will?
No.
No dog? All right. And we'll go on to best bets for today. For me, it's New York Rangers money line, minus 112. Nick, you're going Tampa Bay money line, plus 110. Dave, you're going Cleveland Guardians money line. I think it's plus 176. Occupancy, you're going Capo Caco over 1.5 shots, minus 110. Bryant is going LA Kings money line, minus 115. Ice X is going Vasilevsky over 26.5 saves, minus 118. Toller is going Vegas LA over 5.5. He's taking the minus 146 for that to get over 5.5. Melissa is going with Kings money line, minus 115. Will, what do you think here for best bet?
I'll just stick with the under 6.
Okay. All right. And Ryan?
Dodgers run line.
You almost talked me into it.
All right. Los Angeles. Dodgers. I'll get the odds for that after the show. But that is today's show. Hockey is back. We have a bunch of best bets from everybody here today. If you haven't followed everybody, everyone's link is in the description below. Make sure to give everyone a follow. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the content, smash the like button. We appreciate all the support. If you're watching on Twitter, come join us on YouTube. We'd love to have you in the YouTube chat. And we will see you again tomorrow, same time, 4 p.m. Eastern, for another episode. Getting Well with Terry and Friends. Have a good one, guys.